pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So prayer. Lord, I just would ask for your mercy and your wisdom on tonight's meeting. Give us all wisdom to make good decisions. We're able to be here together and to practice our freedoms that brings us all around this table. Lord, also please protect those who are serving abroad and at home, who protect our freedoms as well, and everything that we get to enjoy in the U.S. In your name we pray. Amen. All right, reading and approval of minutes.
Motion to approve and suspend reading.
We got a motion.
Second.
And a second to Folkers. Any discussion? Okay. Vote correct. All in favor? Aye. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. Approval for the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of the golf cart ordinance under old business, since we heard back from Mr. Donovan on that.
Why don't you give a pen up? Nice.
So it's got a big tough vote.
So we do have a motion with an addition.
Second.
Second by Mr. Stern. Any other discussion? All right, we vote. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Agenda is approved. Engineers report.
Thank you. Okay, Jared Bundy with More Engineering. Nice to meet you. So got a couple. I should have a copy of our report that Grant sent up on Friday. Just an update on a couple items and one approval that we're seeking tonight. So just things overlap all the time. Expedition Estates. I don't know if Buster's here to talk about that or not, or if it's something different, but I will stay after the meeting. I'm going to leave at about 10 after 6 today. But generally, just to update everybody, I know I repeat myself, but I do that intentionally, but that is a privately built subdivision that we are overseeing. At the end of the construction, the city will take over the ownership of the water system, the sewer system, and the streets. So it's our job to make sure that things are built according to rules and regulations. Right now where we sit is there's some corrective items that still need to be done. I think, if I understand correctly, there's a moratorium on building permits until those items are addressed. I have been in touch with Williams Building Company occasionally. According to staff that I deal with in their East Coast office, they understand the situation. They're not happy with the situation. I think Tim was here to talk to you this spring about the situation. But we're just being firm that these items need to be corrected. And at some point, we have to move forward with this. And there is a path to publicly move forward with this where the city takes over and completes the improvements and then either pays for it or special assesses it to them. And we're not at that point yet, but generally, if that is the path that we end up having to go down, as always, the best way to do these things is to bid projects in the winter time, so we get the best bids on things for construction next summer. I would expect that being October 15th, it's too late in the season to address anything now, but if you decide that that is the route that we need to do, and I'm not saying you have to, we should make a decision in about November timeframe to go through the steps, resolutions, create an improvement district, design a project, advertise, bid, build it next summer so that it can be resolved and done. So, no action for tonight, but I just want you to understand we're still at, I believe, an impasse unless you've been contacted by them for some type of offer or something outside of I'm aware of.
So what all needs to be completed yet?
So if you're familiar with that subdivision, there's a big loop, and there's a north-south stretch on the west side of it called 11th Street. The issues are with the sanitary sewer. This is about 500 feet of sanitary sewer that does a little of this. The saddles or the sewer wires are all cracked and broken, and it's all a result of poor compaction when it was built, which then created the problems in the pipes, and they need to be fixed. And that's the problem. But in order to get to the sewer, you got to dig up the street, and it's expensive. So that's where we stand.
So that's about the only thing left for them to technically finish up there?
It's about a block and a half is what I would call that. You know, a normal block's about 300.
Just on the line?
Yep. Everything else, generally minus some seeding coming in, it has passed every inspection that we've given it. Pressure testing, bacteria testing, televising, mandrel testing. I drive that street every time I'm up here, and it's generally in good condition. Maybe a few little dips and bumps, but nothing outside of what I would expect for normal new construction. So, I don't know if you're in talk later or not, Buster, but that's where we stand right now, is there still needs to be corrective work. I do contact them about every month, and from what I understand, it's still in their court to do something. But I'm going to keep bringing it up, and I feel like the time to act would be late fall. We don't want to be addressing it in June next year trying to find a contractor. If we end up having to go the city route, it's just a bad time to be advertising and bidding projects at the beginning of the summer, because contractors are generally not as hungry at that time. So I would be open to just about anything at this point.
Can we reach out to them and basically bring that up? If they don't come up with a plan, that we may take it over?
They know that.
They know that already?
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're happy with those options, but they understand those options.
I mean, they knew about that all summer on that part.
Because it kind of seems like it's going in one ear and out the other, like, yeah, we know, we'll get to it later.
No, he kind of argued about that 11th Street when he was here in the
I
spring.
remember that, but
You know,
Yeah. Monty, did you have something?
I did reach out to Mr. Williams regarding the lighting stuff that was talked about the last meeting. We've been going back and forth by email because he does want to address that as well. They did come up with some other options that may actually be better regarding wired lighting up there. So, and I did visit with him about the fact that that could be special assessed as well. So I'll keep trying, going back and forth with him, try to get it set up and something, including Jerry.
If I had to say, I would suggest a decision point of early December at the latest, in order to, if we have to do something ourselves, have enough time to design, bid, advertise, not be dealing with it. And
it would be kind of convenient. We got to bring a paper to town next year anyway.
for those patches. It's a pretty small project for paving, right? I mean, yes, the mobilizing paving companies is very expensive. On these little patches and, 1 block or 1.5 blocks like that, somebody would haul the asphalt. And so yes, yeah, you're right. We have to bring somebody. It'd be nice to just do it at once. But any questions on Expedition Estates? Nothing? Okay, all right. Next project that we've, ongoing with the city, sanitary sewer improvement project. I think you guys probably, we've talked about this 100 times, but generally, the sanitary sewer spot repairs, the locations we found through the televising that there were damaged sewers, holes in sewers, broken sewers, offset joints, sags, issues that have been dug up and corrected. Those are the dug up streets that you were talking about. Those asphalt patches are not scheduled to be done next year. The recommendation there is because we have wet soils in small areas with small patches that are hard to compact. We're better off letting those sit. So they do need a little bit of touch up, but it's just expected to be gravel for the winter. It'll probably freeze fairly quickly here, and then those will be finished next year. The asphalt rehab, or excuse me, manholes. And at the intersection of every manhole where pipes intersect or change grades or directions, we have manholes. The repair method on those is trenchless, so they open up the manholes, jackhammer out the bad areas, and then are repairing them from the inside. And that's about 50% complete. They are still working on that. Grant says that they expect to be done with those by October 31st. I can't remember how many, maybe 60 or 70 of those throughout town. So that's kind of where we sit. What I have for you tonight is on page 2, 3, 4 of our agenda, or of our report, is contractor's application for payment. So CC Steel submits this to us to review. They requested payment in the amount of $196,365.38. We've reviewed it. We look at the quantities, we measure things, we make sure that they passed all the applicable tests, and then we recommend payment. As always, we hold 5% retainage until the end of the job. Looks like we're still holding 10% retainage. They may ask to reduce that coming up, but nothing tonight. Generally, as we hit 50% construction, we start taking that retainage down from 10 down to 5 when we hit final completion, and then we pay the final amount when they passed all the final inspections and punch lists have been completed. So I recommend approval of payment number 5 for the amount of $196,365.38.
So moved. Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Jared,
Yes, sir.
how has that process been going? I mean, the whole, at the intersections,
The manholes.
yeah.
It's, so, what we do near the end is we send our 360 camera down, and then it takes a full view of everything. We're generally looking for bubbles or anything that's not, it's a super high strength grout. I haven't found any problems yet, but we build it, and then we have a 12-month warranty after it's done. So we inspect it now. We'll probably send the camera in again at 11 months and look at it again. But it's been going fine. I'm not aware of any issues. No, I'm not aware of any issues.
Transition piece is gonna make it here yet this year?
For
Those transition from the big pipe to the little pipe and then back to the big pipe?
Most of those are done, aren't
They weren't,
Transitions?
they weren't last.
they? I was told that they were in town working on them here, last week, so.
I can find out. So you remember we run all these areas that eventually get lining or that were lined. We have the camera run through them and find any problems. So I'm not aware of what you're talking about, but I'll ask Grant to comment on that.
Something about in between the blocks, they,
Yeah, waiting on transition lines expected this
they
year.
go from like 10 inch down to 8 inch and then back out to 10 inch or something like that in between blocks or manholes. So they're waiting for some transition pieces.
Manholes are generally not supposed, or pipes are not supposed to change size mid-block, but sometimes they do. And if that is the case, then I could see that they had to special order some liners or something.
Any other questions or discussion?
So yeah, Jared, even on that, I guess
You know, that you got some lift station, I guess, one there, and that liner one, so I was just,
Lift station 1, okay.
I was just curious if you had a chance to take a look at that or not.
I don't know if I recall
The liner's coming
off.
off, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, our Jared had gotten a hold of Grant on that, so they were gonna do some checking on
I wasn't aware of that, Casey.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Oftentimes, if it's related to this job, you know, we will reject work, we'll add stuff to punch lists and make sure that it's done. So as long as I know about it, you know, we won't issue that final payment until items are corrected. But I'm not sure, is it?
I don't think it was part of this job,
No.
though.
Are you looking for, okay, I'll talk to Grant. He knows what's going on. Okay.
I guess one last thing, as far as along Third Avenue, just touch up those, I don't know if that's an us or their deal, touching up those spot repairs.
The gravel
Some of those
spots.
are- Yeah, some of those dips are getting kinda aggressive.
Okay. One way or another, I agree with you, they should get touched up. Okay.
Is there any other ones, Dave, that need some addressing? I don't
Pretty
think-
much all on that project or whatever, I know they said they'd come out and touch them up one more time if there was getting to be some potholes in them or whatever, but it's about time.
Till they freeze solid.
Yeah, one more time before the winter kind of thing, I think would most likely suffice, at least from what I've been seeing.
What about throughout the winter when we have our freeze thaw with the traffic over?
It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the confidence.
yeah, no, it will.
Straight up.
Like, it's the right thing to do.
In March and April, it will be, that we'll have trouble with those, and they'll be hard to fix because they'll be partially frozen, partially not frozen. Best we'll probably end up being able to do is dump some gravel in them, and then, I mean, it's just, that's.
But it's better than
Well, we-
potentially having to re-tear everything back up, right?
Right.
Yeah, we talked about this back and forth.
I guess that was my question, that they will be touched up then in case we have some concerns that come forward. I understand the nature of the beast with the gravel, with the freezing and thawing, but.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll suck. But
They
yeah.
shouldn't get overly muddy because they're using our recycled product in them, and
Okay.
fresh asphalt, so it won't get muddy, but we'll probably get a few potholes that'll form or whatever, but
Right.
it shouldn't be like a big mud mess, or somebody gets stuck in it.
Yeah, because I don't remember the blend of pavement and concrete, Dave.
'Cause
It was a good blend of that.
Yeah.
It wasn't half and half, but it was,
Your guys' stuff?
yes, I just don't remember what the,
It's your big stockpile of reclaimed asphalt.
correct.
It's probably mostly asphalt, I would think. Some gravel in there too, but
I know there was concrete in there as well.
you could be right. I don't remember.
I don't have anything else. Is it a roll call vote? For us, Ian?
Yes.
Roll call vote. Is it particular way to start?
Folkerts,
Aye.
Stern,
Aye.
Hack,
Aye.
Weidrich,
Aye.
Schifro.
Aye.
Okay, almost done here, just a couple minor updates. NDDOT Flex Fund. So if you remember back in September, we submitted an application to the Flex Funds. That's kind of in lieu of some of the prairie dog funds they're distributing. They're handing out some grants they're calling Flex Fund. You submitted an application. Just the updates we got from the DOT, they had 410 applications requesting $765 million in total project costs. There's 230 million available in the flex funds, and an additional 80 million estimated for prairie dog delayed when the buckets fill. So at that rate, there's definitely not going to be enough money to go around, but I will expect to hear something later. Because if you recall, you applied for 50% funding on doing concrete streets. 7th Street, right, thank you. So I'll report back when we find that out. Otherwise, that's generally, I think, all we have here, unless I'm missing something, Monty. We do have a capital improvement plan in town that I'd love to sit and visit with you and anybody, any of the portfolio holders, as funding comes up. I do not like to be funding agency, hey, let's go after something random, like we should have a calculated approach to things. You know, we got hundreds of blocks of water mains and sewer mains we're maintaining, and streets go in cycles. We'll probably do to give some information, education on how to take care of asphalt streets. City last did a street project in 2018, which means we're probably scheduled to do some surfacing, some minor stuff in like 2028. And so oftentimes when you're planning these underground improvements, you try to schedule them so that you can coordinate them with street improvement projects. So there's a never-ending amount of needs when it comes to capital improvement needs, you know, on your guys' list. And then there's these little opportunities that come around every so often, and then we discuss them and decide if you want to go after something or not. And so, for example, the Flex Fund was one of those things that came up this summer that we went after, and we'll find out later if we got it or not. That's all I have. I'm going to stick around for another about 15 minutes. If you need anything, yell at me. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Yep.
Next 6, which is Christmas tree.
With the revitalization of the corner on Main Street, there's been some talk back and forth with the Chamber of CVB about a Christmas tree for that location. I did some researching with some of the vendors that we've used in the past regarding panel trees, and everything always has to rotate. And some of those options, one of the other options would be just some of the normal, they're called pop-up trees. Again, you can get up to 25-foot heights, which wouldn't work in our area, but there's a considerable cost savings on them if that's something you wanted to consider. Since we removed all the trees from that area that were used as Christmas trees in the past.
Auntie, are those like put together? Those
Yeah,
pop-up
the
trees?
pop-up trees are, yeah.
Like in sections or individual pieces? I guess you have like a 40-mile-an-hour window like today. I mean, it's
Yeah.
how they're put together. Kind
They
of
are
matters.
commercial, it'd be similar to one that they had under the canopy over there at different times. They did have to tie it off so it wouldn't go blowing away, but it held up as far as the rest of the wind. Like I say, they're a commercial tree, so it's, I don't know if Antoinette's had a chance to look at any of them.
The one that I did look at from Minnesota, they said that they do anchor them down, and I guess I wouldn't know where we would want to put a tree. If we're keeping the canopy up over the winter, you could put it right in that center, but then it's got we don't need a big 20-foot tree. We're not Mandan Bismarck, but if we had even a 10-foot tree, or not even 8 feet, would be just fine. But I guess I just need to know how I can present it back to my board of directors for Convention Visitors Bureau, because of course we have a very big SR71 project going on right now, so it would be nice to collaborate together with the city and do this together. We talk about this year after year, it seems, and now that we have that beautiful corner, it would be wonderful to utilize it. And if not, I have option 2, and that's to have the high school FCCLA students put up just a tiny little tree in the pocket park, but there again, we have the same issues with the wind and whatnot. So, and again, you always feel bad if we do something like this, who's gonna put it up, who's gonna take it down? Obviously, I can't, and I always bug Dave, and I feel so bad always about bugging you on things, but yeah, it would have to be a city thing, probably, but we would help cover, right, President CVB? We would help cover the cost of the tree, but not all of it. So it's just something that we thought about a couple months ago, and we could have had a real live tree, but then how do you deal with that too? I don't know how Beulah deals with it, but we have to anchor it down somehow. So we just need to know which way we should go with this, because we should have a tree.
Is this the one you were talking about, Antoinette? You said from Minnesota?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the one?
So they almost look like one of those, when I was a kid, it was one of those witches hat that you would climb on that are metal, and then they buckle in together, right? They clip in.
Is that the panel tree or something?
Yep, and then the pop-up, wait, that's the panel tree, yep,
Okay,
those are the panels, all right?
so it's got like a skeleton
Yes,
frame panel?
yes.
Okay.
And then the pop-up, I believe, it pops.
It's more like a residential one where you have to kind of fix the branches into
It's an
it.
artificial tree, basically.
Yeah,
Just a giant,
And to make it look old,
just a giant fake tree,
yes.
just like at home where you put the
Yeah.
posts one end to the other, and then,
Yeah,
More,
11-foot tree would be
okay.
just fine. And it says, you can put ornaments on it. Part of my project with the FCCLA kids is they would have kids do crafts, and then they would come and put up them on the tree. So it's something I would like to see take place. If we can't get it this year, well, we can shoot next year too, but yeah, that's a really good price.
Is that the price, Monty, on the 11 footer?
yes, that is on the 11-foot.
With LED lights, yeah.
I mean, which one would be more robust to wind and stuff like that, right, with the panel tree? Because I mean, it
Panel
seems to be
tree,
a little bit more
probably, yeah.
rigid and,
How much is an 11-foot panel tree?
yeah.
That's for the 11-footer?
$8,000.
And this one was, well, this was a 14-foot.
Yeah,
The
the other one was
smallest,
14 too.
the smallest one in the panel trees is a 14-foot.
And sometimes you actually get one that actually comes with the topper. So that's something to think about
And then
too.
plus the wear and tear, I mean,
Yeah.
with the branches and stuff like that, I don't know.
I would say pop over the panel, but that's my opinion if I was gonna support it. I mean, I do, I think it's a good idea, I think it'd probably be something nice, but,
That one, you mean?
either pop up or the panel.
Okay,
Or the, yeah. That one, the panel,
These are both panel.
okay, all right.
Yeah,
I would say, I guess I'm envisioning your classic December blizzard and 50-mile-an-hour winds.
Mhm.
And the stresses, even though that you anchor it, I mean, if it's a assembled one, it's gonna get scattered over everywhere.
yeah, and you know, we dealt with that in the little pocket park where we would put the tree up and every day I'd come over and put it back up, but that was just one you would put in your house, so,
I mean, I think the panel tree
Yes.
seems to be, because I mean, it's gonna be more rigid, it's gonna, I think it lasts a heck of a lot longer, just because there's not as many stress points on it, because there, I mean, it looks like what was that, a steel frame
yes.
Yes,
on the inside?
yes.
And then like there's,
Does that come with the lights on it then, or do you put those on separate?
Yeah,
Comes with
it
it.
would come with the lights.
And again, it could be the shortest one, or not the shortest, but
This one
11.
was praised with the multicolored lights.
That top one, Monty, for almost $8,000, why, is that a different company, taller?
Yeah.
or-
yeah, okay, that's.
That's a 14-foot as well.
So this is a 14 and the one below that, that's a different.
That's a
company?
14-foot
Well, from a
for
different.
a different company.
Okay, because the one below this one was like $5,000, right?
5 and then a right
And
at
then
1,700.
Yeah, 1,700 shipping.
And that 7,001 doesn't say shipping.
That didn't include the shipping.
Did not include shipping,
No.
okay.
The other thing I think of is like, before we start, I guess I would feel better, well, I would like to know like who's gonna put it up, where's it gonna be stored, and who's gonna all agree on that.
Yeah. Because that's our issue already with certain things, so,
There's that, and then also, what was the max, what's the ceiling set at on that canopy?
13.9.
13.
So 14-footer would have to go beside it.
Okay.
Does it give round diameter dimensions of the base of that at all, Monty? That
This
particular
one, these do not that I remember. These do not, but I know on the pop-up tree, an 11-foot tree had a 4-foot base. Since this has basically got everything together, the base is there when you set it up. I have to keep flipping this. See, it's basically just these panels then.
4 feet at a time, it says, so you do your math.
Oh, I thought you were good at that.
No, I don't do math in front of people.
What is it, 4 feet at a what time?
4 feet at a
Yeah,
time,
so you go
14
up
foot
4
tall.
So we,
You got 2 year blades.
For your
you got
diameter?
the rest.
Storage isn't that big of an issue. We got an entire water plant that's sitting empty.
Until it isn't.
Until it is.
This might kick that off, you never know.
I guess I would love to know the actual bottom base diameter of that. I'm all for getting something, but if we get something and it doesn't fit where we're anticipating it. Because I guess I personally, I don't know, that can't be, I think those are supposed to last through a lot of weather. I wasn't anticipating taking it down, taking the canopy off.
I think they,
Yeah,
yeah, well, because they're supposed to stretch as a shade
Right.
thing, so. Yeah.
so I would be more so for the next to it. Is that something we could find?
Yes, I
out?
can.
And what's the lead time on something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't wanna string it out to where
They were in stock now, the majority of them, so it would be 4 to 6 weeks.
Wonder if Mr. Bezos sells anything like that.
Are you talking Amazon?
Yes.
Ooh, or not?
Maybe as a slightly used one, for a little less money.
Oh, I personally would like to know the diameter of the bottom of that. Oh, not that one, but the next one down, Monty,
Okay.
with the $1,700, yeah, that one there. And then, is that gonna put us too late, you guys, if we wait?
So if we ordered it next, or this week, or the beginning of next week, that gets it delivered about the first week of December, plus the organization to put it up, it'd be up for just a few weeks.
And December 4th is our Hazen walk around, our holiday walk around, which is usually our tree lighting. So, yeah,
You're not,
Well, I can find out timing too.
it didn't say 4 to 6 weeks. so
No,
You,
yeah, that's their general lead time on all their other stuff that we've ordered from them. More, they ship it faster.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I'd hate, I'm with you, I'd hate for it to be purchased and all ready to go, but then we end up running into a situation too where it's like, well, who's gonna put it up? I'd hate to see Antoinette up there on some kind of skyjack or something trying to pull together a Christmas tree.
is there power over there
Limited, there's enough to run the lights,
on that light
the
pole?
street lights on the pole,
Is there an
yeah.
outlet on there?
I don't know where you usually ran a cord from the other lights off that pole, I think.
Came off that pole,
Yeah.
yes.
and in the back of the tattoo place, there's where we can get a extra, is it a board, the electric board that we used for Harvest Fest last year. So if we needed to, we could pay. I'm making that decision, we could probably pay for that, so it doesn't run on the city, but,
Depending on what you want there.
yeah. And also with the little tent beans we're talking about it, Dodie Moss with 209th, Found 209th has made the request, she would really like to donate solar lights for underneath that tent. If that is something that the city would, want to do, I told her I would talk to you guys and get back to her.
Yeah.
You mean the canopy? Really?
It's a
Oh,
fantastic
absolutely.
idea.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
I don't think we need to vote on something that's free, do we?
No, no.
Hey, well, I'm gonna go sit back down, but just let me know, it's just all food for thought. We've been looking at the tree for the last year already, so.
Well, it almost sounds like this isn't gonna happen this year. If it's 4 to 6 weeks out, there's just not enough time to go that route this year.
Probably get some good sales after Christmas, and just,
Wondering that if we could just somehow do a live tree this year and have the weld shop whip out a base quick,
which we talked about, Dave.
you know.
Depending on how big a tree you get, you'd have to shoot anchors into that new concrete to anchor a stand down, and I don't know if you want a punch wood.
Not really, not if you make one. If you made it out of steel and then, you know, you had a square plate basically,
That's what
And then
they got that
stack
4-foot plate,
sand
and that's
whips.
probably anchored on the ground with, I think, inch bolts, about 8 of them. You get a pretty big sized tree or
Like
whatever.
any, yeah, something that big is gonna just,
but you put a couple 100 pounds of sandbags on it.
I don't know, if it can scoot it, it will. I mean, yeah. It's interesting, I only know that from mistakes I've made.
I mean, if this, we could always put the live tree in the pocket park too, just for this year, just to see. You guys get back to me and we'll figure it out.
Chalk Fest removal, the tree removal.
They didn't intend to be here tonight, so they did send this correspondence to me that I shared with you regarding the removal of that tree over by the library. I don't know if you had a chance to visit with the library.
I did. Yeah, it's, it wouldn't work to remove it from the library, because it does provide some utility for them for different things. I don't know, I guess I would even be open if they wanted to like relocate something in the area, just because I have heartburn also about just taking out something that's not dead,
If,
you know?
if it was diseased in any way or half dead, I'd completely understand it, but when I looked at it, it was a perfectly healthy tree, and I have a hard time cutting down a perfectly healthy tree just to make more room for one event. You know, or if there was some sort of safety concern with it or anything, there's not. We're literally just removing it to make room for one event.
And Jesse, you said that Cindy, say that for the library, say that one more time.
It does provide them some utility, like shade and stuff, because when they do summer stuff, for like the reading program and stuff like that. I mean, not only does it cut down wind and all that kind of stuff, it, you know, provides shade. Depending on what they're doing, and yeah, it would just.
Thanks for coming, man.
So Jesse, your recommendation, do you have a recommendation? No?
To leave it.
To leave it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm sorry, man.
Okay. That's your recommendation, and I accept that. I agree as well. If it's alive, I mean, we all like the Chalk Fest, and it's great, but it is kind of a tough situation. I would say leave it as well.
It probably would be a little bit different if Cindy doesn't use it
Yeah,
for
right.
shade
Yeah,
or
get rid of it,
protection during her events. I'd hate to take away from her too.
Yeah, and I don't know if that would necessarily change my mind on it, but.
Yeah.
Up to 7. We'll do that. 11, right? You want the golf course? Golf cart ordinance. Request for reconsideration of the RZ application of C. Johnson.
I would like to provide you with the information that I pulled from the RZ, our RZ Zone Act.
Let's say that 5 times fast, please.
Yeah, right, that the city approved some time ago. The information in this says 5 years. My understanding is about 3 years ago. Yeah, I do have my phone. We changed that to 8 years. But if you look at that one statement, it says, and Buster informed me, I wouldn't even have to bring that to the city commission, because the act says that if a property is sold, the remaining term is transferable of the RZ benefit.
Just the whole kit and caboodle goes with the sale, basically. Gotcha.
And you know, I need to be able to rely on this, because we tell people, and boy, oh boy. And I just went to a conference that was put on by the REA Association, and the gentleman, he's a big data guy, you know. He said for every dollar you spend on RZ things, or like the $25,000 grants we were doing, comes back to you between 3 and 5 times at least. This woman has Parkinson's. She lives in our community because her family moved here. She's gonna shop here. And she's gonna live here and do most of her stuff here, unless she goes out of town with her family, because she doesn't drive out of town. She can still drive in town, but she's in the early stages of Parkinson's, so she moved here because of her family and because of the benefits in that division. And I was told by at least 3 people that they built up there because of that $25,000 grant that was approved, that we provided through HCD. You may not be familiar with those, I don't know if you are, Jesse, we had.
No, but I didn't attend the meeting that this was talked about, but I did watch it.
So I am respectfully asking you to approve this. And if you want to change the act, I don't know if we can. I'd have to call the state. When I called the state also, they went, yep, you just send us a copy of the application and the purchase agreement.
So I got a question now. This Renaissance home, what was it originally designed for?
To encourage development in the community, I would say, wouldn't you?
Was that for brand new districts, or was that for older districts to fix them up?
I don't have a whole one up there, I'm sorry.
Maybe I can give you a little perspective
Yeah,
on,
Buster was involved in
a
that.
historical perspective on the Renaissance Zone. First of all, some of you were on the commission back when we did the improvement plan for the city. And we did a planning in partnership, and we had the consultant come in and work with us, and that project was done through HCD, and we paid for all of it, and of course we had gotten a grant for part of that. And part of the partner in planning grant was to expand the Renaissance Zone. Okay? Our Renaissance Zone used to be, I think it was 21, 23 blocks. And basically, it ran up and down Main Street. Okay. The law had changed relative to Renaissance zones. And the 2 major things that affected Hazen was, one is that the number of blocks you could add, you could go up to 33. Okay? We opted and went to 31. Okay? And one of the main areas that we adopted it for was that area up on Expedition Estates. Okay? That was added. We added blocks going from the corner here up to Senex and over. And so there's a block, that street that runs from Senex to the hotel. That's all Renaissance Zone.
Down 7?
Yep.
Okay.
Up to the Rough Rider Motel. The idea with the Renaissance Zone is previously you used to be able to get a tax abatement based on your approval up to 5 years. Okay? With the new law that went into effect, that changed where you could do it up to 8 years. So consequently, when we adopted and when you adopted the new proposal, you were in agreement with the additional Renaissance guidelines of doing an 8-year proposal. The Renaissance board, since that time, and when we have come in, our recommendation has always been on new properties. Now, it varies in terms of what kind of property you have out there. But on new builds, okay, we were always, the Renaissance board always recommended to the city to do a 5-year abatement and then 3 additional years. So you get to the 8, but year 6 is 75%, year 7 is 50, and year 8 is 25% abatement. Okay? So the idea behind it is this. That's quite an incentive for somebody to build in the Renaissance zone. And of course, the idea is, that's why we put the Renaissance zone in those areas where we knew we would probably have some development coming in. And that's not to say though, for instance, across the street here, they were able to take advantage of the Renaissance zone, the dental clinic. Their rules are a little bit different because they weren't a new build. They were a remodel. And there are some different rules that you apply. But for all of the new builds, and that's one of the incentives that when I used to sit in that office, when people would come in and talk to me about it, that's what I would talk about. You know, they may have had a different area in mind, and not that I'm pushing them either way or that. I just said, this is just a reminder. I want you to be aware that if you build in the Renaissance zone, you will have an option possibly for a tax abatement on your property.
And it's huge. Something else that I noticed when I read through this again, because it's, you know, there was a lot to take in when I started, is it actually does say that if you buy a house, 10% of the value should be eligible for the tax Renaissance zone benefit, and on a business, 25% should be eligible one time on that property during the 15-year period. We have not been doing that, but the law, the act says we can. So, yeah, read that.
I thought it was 5 years.
Well, it's
60
5,
months.
but didn't it get changed to 8 with everything
No,
else?
on the 10 and 25%, I thought it was 60 months.
Oh, but it can only be used one time during the 15-year period of the Renaissance zone.
Oh, okay, I'm
I'm sorry, I
sorry.
didn't expect that. But I thought that was something, we're not doing that, and it should be eligible. So I don't know what you want to decide, and I don't know what the state would, I'd have to talk to the state saying, okay.
So basically, getting back to, you know, the history of the Renaissance zone. And I can tell you this, right now, there are 2 more active buyers looking at putting units up in Expedition Estates, okay? And these are in the neighborhood of $500,000 to $600,000 homes that will be going up there, okay? So, granted, possibly the Renaissance zone may not be a big enticement to them, but how could we offer a Renaissance enticement, for lack of a better word, to some of the residents that are there already, but not offer for new customers or new clients? To me, that goes against everything we're trying to do in the city, and that is expand and grow. And I will add this, we have a bit of an advantage to our neighbors to the west, because they do not have a Renaissance zone ordinance in their city. And so, one of these 2 people that I'm talking about are coming from the west. There's another one that I'm aware of that will be moving in shortly by the end of the month. That is coming from the west. And so I have to think that that incentive has something to do with them coming our direction. So,
So my question still hasn't been answered.
and what is that?
What was the intent of the Renaissance zone?
the intent of the Renaissance zone originally
Yes.
was to help businesses and properties, incentivize people to build and open businesses
And
and,
fix up the older part of town, correct?
yeah, but it's, but,
Correct?
no,
Yeah.
that was part of it.
Yes.
But,
But what I keep seeing is we only, besides, dental clinic here, and then that one house that was built over by Solon's old place over there. That's the only other Renaissance
No.
ones that I have seen come
Well, that's
across
because
since
you-
I've been up.
yeah, that's,
But all the other ones have been up
Yeah.
there in a brand new development. The way
Yeah.
I understand your Renaissance zone is to help fix up your older areas of town, but that doesn't seem to be happening.
No.
So is that coming from you guys not pushing it in the older part of town, or these guys don't know that they can get these tax incentives if they fix
So-
up
so-
their properties?
so, Dustin, first of all, let me just refresh your, like, you weren't on the commission. So, Warren Weidrich took advantage of the Renaissance zone. Sue's Cafe took advantage of the Renaissance zone. Yeah,
I'm sure there is, but I'm just talking
Yeah.
in the last 3.5 years that
Well-
I've been on, there's been hardly any from
Yeah.
the rest of it other than
yeah.
Expedition
Well,
Extinct.
and the thing about it is this, it's not to say that it's not available, because that option is available to people if they would have an interest. For instance, when we go out and we're trying to find somebody to get into, reopen the cafe, this might be a nice incentive to help them consider coming back on board with us.
But if they've already used it in the 15 years,
If I may.
it's gone.
No, it isn't.
Go ahead, Alan.
Commercial can, so long as they increase the value by at least 50% of the present value, they can qualify for a new exemption under the Renaissance zone. And that might be part of the problem with people getting it, because they have to increase the value of the property that much in order to qualify.
And Monty, isn't it exterior? It can't be furniture and fixtures.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
gotta
it's
be-
got the structure.
Curb
Yeah.
appeal, basically.
yeah,
I would imagine.
and structure.
And at one time, if a project was approved, then that was it. I mean, you could transfer within that abatement period, ownership. But that also changed in the last, not in the last legislative session, but 2 legislative sessions ago, where now there's a 30-year window on that, okay? So some of those earlier ones that I talked about are probably getting close to that 30-year window. So if we have somebody else that might be interested in relocating in those businesses, they very likely could be eligible for the Renaissance zone again, those same properties. And remember, it follows the property, not the person. So, any other questions? Yeah. Keith?
No, Buster, you know, I guess the way that I see it too and stuff, you know, in the past and stuff, you know, business would then, I mean, like, do this program.
Hmm.
Well, then after they're, then I guess, time is up and stuff. Time is up and stuff, they would just leave, or then I'll switch the name
Well, I guess if,
on the business, so.
you know,
It
and,
doesn't work because it's the property.
yeah. And so some of it is, I
Well,
mean,
it's been done
that,
at the bowling alley, I don't know how many
Yeah.
times.
that's the, you know, and that's the chance that you take with businesses, you know, is that you have some of that happening. For instance, Curves. Some of you remember when Curves was here? And they had a very thriving business. They were able to take advantage of the Renaissance zone back then. And what were they in town, 8 to 10 years? And then the opportunity presented itself, so she just felt that there was a better opportunity in a larger city and picked up and left. That can happen. I wouldn't disagree with that, you know. But, so the other part, the other way to look at it is this. So in 8 years, what will be the value of those homes, or what will they be assessed at?
A lot higher now.
A lot higher than what my number is. And so,
And
it's kind of the long game.
I don't have a problem helping somebody build to grow our community.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand why I keep seeing these come across just for expedition of states and not to help fix up the older community like the Renaissance zone originally was
Yeah.
designed for.
And I don't know if.
The Renaissance zones were not designed
Yeah.
originally for brand new
Yeah.
construction in
Well,
brand new development.
But
It
let's see.
changed to allow that,
Yeah.
but it wasn't originally designed for that.
Yeah, and actually that hasn't changed. So for instance, that whole area, once you get past Hazen Welding, you know, where those homes are, all on that strip, that was all original Renaissance zone area. All of the families, or all of the homes that hadn't been built at that time, that were on 8th, that was also Renaissance zone. I was on 7th. I remember coming in, talking to Duke at the time, asking him how come 7th Avenue wasn't included in the zone. And that's because most of our properties on 7th Avenue, we didn't need to incentivize people to come in over there. So,
You talking 7th Avenue Northwest on the cul-de-sacs and stuff?
Yeah, the second to last street going west.
Yeah, okay.
8th is the very last cul-de-sac
Yeah.
straight before
yeah,
the street.
yeah. So anyway, other questions, anybody? I'll just sit down and be quiet.
Even if you read this here, you know, it kind of, I guess, it spells out, you know, that was made and stuff, you know, to, I guess, repair.
Yes, you can.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I should have made more copy.
Repair and stuff, you know, the,
Yeah. See, I, you
you know,
know,
like they're part of town, you know.
I don't want to say this, but I think these are the old,
That's what I
some of these are
understand.
the old bylaws.
Yeah.
Renaissance zone is, you know, to help rebuild your older communities.
Yeah.
But it seems like more and more it's just being used in a brand new development and not helping to rebuild the older community.
But I think every house that gets built, obviously that's tax generation.
It is, yeah, I get that.
And people in town, because if we don't have people in town, we're not gonna get a new restaurant. We're not gonna, our businesses are gonna keep on dying, and we don't.
So the application at hand,
Vibrant.
can you refresh my memory exactly, is that it was a transfer of ownership, is that right?
Yes, it is.
So then it just moves that it did have this
Yes,
prior,
yes.
and with the new ownership, it dropped off.
It didn't drop. It didn't drop off. It can be transferred.
Right,
And it just.
but it stopped.
She doesn't get anything extra than was originally, so Dana died about 3 months after she was in the property, and what was it, about a year before it was sold? So, let's say that's the truth. Then she would get 4 years of, Cindy would get 4 years of full benefit, and then she'd go to her graduated benefit. She doesn't go back to the original 8-year plan.
Okay.
Yeah, it just picks
Okay.
up.
Does that help?
Yeah, it just picks up.
Yeah, it just picks up.
It stays the same, it's just different
Yeah,
order,
yeah,
it's
Right.
getting the rest of the benefit. So you technically wouldn't have even needed to come to the board with
I
it.
guess not. Buster told me I wouldn't have had to, but you know what? I want to be open, and I'm
Well, for
learning
sure.
right along with everybody else, so I think this was a good exercise for all of us to learn about a little bit more. Like I said, when I read that again, I went, I don't know, maybe we should be doing this on these other properties.
Because it sounds
So
like,
if you wouldn't have come to the board, then what would have been the process?
I would have just sent, before I left for a couple of weeks, because I told my board when I started I was going to go in October. Well, I didn't do that for a year. So I went to the Renaissance zone and had it approved by them.
Okay.
Application. I would have just sent the application and the purchase agreement to the Renaissance Zone.
Cause
I mean, to
To
the,
the state.
to the state.
And then that would have been it?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
Because basically, once it's approved for the property, it's
Yeah.
going
Yeah, and-
free.
Okay.
that
But I
acre.
think it's so, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
really glad I brought it here, because I think there were a lot of questions for me and you.
And maybe the community needs to be more educated with what the Renaissance
Well,
Zone is, right?
That's what I'm kind of bringing up.
Yeah.
I know we're pushing it up there,
Yeah.
But if
we also
anybody-
need to push it in the older
But let's,
community
we
too.
don't actually push it, but if somebody comes in for, let's just say I live in the Renaissance Zone in the old part of town, and I wanna upgrade my property, when I come in for a building permit, unless I'm gonna upgrade enough, I'm not eligible. But Monty, you automatically would tell them that they should visit with me about it, I think, don't you?
If I remember, yeah.
Well, the one reason I bring that up is Todd Coleman just rebuilt that house.
Not in the zone.
It's not his, it has to be your,
It's
Not
a-
in the zone.
Renaissance
you
Zone?
have to live in it.
No.
You have to live in it.
I thought that would be in the Renaissance Zone.
So
But even
anyway,
if it is, he's not
Guess it's
living in
too-
it.
too far.
everything in the pink, everything in the pink
Did you turn it off, my
are the blocks that we've added since we redid the plan, okay? And so you can see that these over here, these are the ones that I'm talking about, that run up 7th. This is over to the, and so there are some vacant lots over there now, that people might consider. The other thing is this, I don't know, for instance, the theater is in the Renaissance Zone. I'm not sure, that probably nothing's gonna get built on there. But that's not to say that, what if all of a sudden, the hotel would decide to do a major remodel? And so, anyway, I think this helps a little bit in seeing, some of the expansion that we talked about in terms of where things are at, so. I'll leave this for Myra, she can put it back on.
You did tear it off my wall.
Now, because the city didn't approve it, do you need a reapproval, or it doesn't really matter? It's a
I'm
moot
not sure,
point.
you guys, would it?
Would it even had to come to the city
No.
in the first place?
Technically, it wouldn't.
No, because it was already approved for the property.
Yeah.
And it already states in the laws here that,
Right.
once it's approved for the
Yeah,
property, it's
Buster said, you
transferable to
really,
the
you
next
didn't have to
owner.
bring that in, Myra, and I went, well,
Yeah.
so.
I'm not sure how to
So it's
proceed.
kind of,
I think it's still done, I think it's still, yeah, still good to go. You do what you would have done if you didn't bring it to the board kind of thing.
I'll
At least
just-
that's what I understand.
But based on what I've read, that's the truth,
Yeah.
but again, I'm glad I brought it in because I think it gave us a lot of information, a lot of good conversation. I think we need to put some sort of an article in the paper
That might be the
about
play.
Renaissance.
I would be curious, so how much this is not
That's-
revised?
Well, and
Yeah.
that's the old one,
I will find the new
Yeah.
one, but
that's all the old stuff.
Okay.
We're just seeing if you really believe it.
I don't think too many things have changed, but some of them. 8 years has changed.
If you're interested in looking at the new stuff,
I can get it to
before we
you.
leave, I can just sit down on the computer and send it to
Okay,
you.
you know where it is, okay.
And if I may say
I got
too,
it out of your book.
between my office and Myra's office, we always, not always, lately, we've had a few inquiries come in about opening potential new businesses, and that's one of the first things they know, that Hazen has those opportunities. So it's a good incentive, and we'll do our best to come up with something more informative for the community, business and residents, so.
Would that be something we'd be interested in publicizing? I mean, just to kind of,
Yeah, I didn't even know.
people
about
aren't
it.
aware of it, to kind of refresh, or even people who are aware, just kind of refresh the memory of what it all pertains to
I
and
know Bismarck
whatnot.
had some.
We could even put it put an ad in the paper that says, if you're interested in the Renaissance Zone, we could put a copy on the Hazen website, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Could we do that?
I thought the Renaissance Zone was on your
It's on.
page
Is it on
already.
there? So we could just advertise that it's there,
Yeah.
or do a synopsis.
Or a simple, do you qualify for the Renaissance
Right,
Zone?
some
Question
sort of a
mark.
little banner or something.
Just something to bring more awareness to it, maybe. Like you said, you never know.
Yeah, I just took this out of the book because I was kind of shocked when I got back today that it wasn't approved, so I had some other things to take care of, and I went, okay, I better read that thing, and I took it out of the book, so.
Could we see if somebody would be willing to put something together, just quick, like the major bullet points regarding the Renaissance Zone, like what the major attractors are to
Do you
it?
want me to do that
If we
with
could
them?
do
I'll
something like
check
that
it.
and maybe put it in
Someone,
the
if you
paper.
wanted to.
Yes, please, will you please do that?
As well as the Facebook page too.
There's Facebook, paper,
Yeah.
Yeah, I use almost anything that HCD is going to advertise, I go through internet, because the chamber has a good view.
yeah.
So, that's
So you can do chamber, we can do the city. We have 2 Facebook pages.
HCD is buried in the city, and we don't have an extra button though to put HCD on there, so.
No,
it's-
I mean on the Facebook page.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, so we'll go to reports.
I don't have anything.
Okay. I don't know who's who yet, so who has street and cemetery?
That's me. Other than we're ready for,
We're ready for
our
winter.
bad winter, we're ready. No
A few minor
other,
breakdowns, nothing serious on a couple vehicles, but they've been repaired, so, yeah, we're pretty much good to go. Just working on the leaves, waiting for more to fall so we can actually suck out the storm drain basins once all the leaves are gone.
I've noticed that the leaves are not falling
Not as fast as they
fast
should be.
at all.
Only in the gutters.
Yeah. So, other than that, that's all I have.
I know Jesse has a busing components.
Look at you. I'm already your favorite. So basically just for busing, Monty and I were talking the other day, there's kind of a goofy holiday pay policy for the busing employees. It's like every month, how does that break down again, Monty?
Because of the different shifts, some of them work only 3 hours a day, and one of them
that's right.
works up to 8 hours a day, depending on how their rotation is. So it was set up that one person for, like say, January 1, one person will get an 8-hour holiday, the other person will get a 3-hour holiday, because that would be a normal shift. And then it would rotate. The next holiday, the person that got the 3-hour holiday gets an 8-hour, and now the other person gets the 3-hour, just keeping in line with the shifts that they were kind of working. So, and I guess the request now is that everybody gets the 8-hour day rather than rotating.
Yeah, I'd like to bring it up to that 8 hours for everybody, because I mean, that could also provide some, I guess necessarily gonna be a make or break for some people, but I mean, it still could be a potential incentive for more applicants as far as drivers go and things like that. So, do we need a commission approval for that, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to make the holiday pay policy for the employees, bring everybody up to that 8 hours, so we don't have to go back and forth between the 8 hours. Transit, sorry, what did I say?
Everybody, all employees.
Yeah, for transit employees, bring that up to 8 hours of holiday pay.
So is that a motion?
I make that as a motion, yes.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Do we need to do a roll call?
Can do a voice vote.
All right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign? Do changed.
And then other than that, we do have just the one applicant for now, right, for the driver. And it sounds like we may have a potential applicant for director as well coming sometime soon. If we could set up that interview, you said you could, I'd like to see if I could get another commissioner to help interview. We can sit involved in that, and we said anytime after what, 3:30? So if we could coordinate.
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Anybody else want to be in on that?
Depends on what it is.
Okay.
Can't have 3.
Can't have 3, you're right. That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Never
that's a
mind.
good point.
Good
Okay,
point.
so just Dustin on that, I guess.
Or Jason.
Or if anybody else wants to, more so than Dustin, if you guys want to play rock, paper, scissors, whatever.
Whoever's available.
Yeah. Mondays and Tuesdays will work best for me, Monty. Other than that, do you have anything for finance, Monty? Okay. Then that is all I have at this time.
Chief Wolf, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, I reached out, Monty reached out, I never got any replies back except for the G-Tech, for the body cams.
You got G-Tac to call you back?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
And they were supposed to send me an estimate, they never did, they sound like you wanted just to do 2 vehicles. So, Spencer with Axon, we can go with this plan, because we don't need a license plate reader right now. That's something, you know. This has the tap where in 5 years they would update when we renew the contract with them. The first 1 to 5 years is $4,438. Now we have the money in that work over solution to make the first payment and have extra money over on that. And can you scroll this up, Monty? Is this the best one? Okay, good. These are the cameras that we've done, and you can see it's all in the little counties, so they have no problem doing little counties. G-Tech did say if they did do ours, we would have to send them someplace, Dakota.com, electronic communication. Axon would come up here and do it free, and that's all they do. They text, they could have it done within a day. 2 vehicles for the price of 1. You're not going to find that anywhere else. You create a point that gives us the CGIS with no extra cost. Free installation, both vehicles. Unlimited storage, no extra cost. New hardware provided every 5, excuse me, every 5 years mark. And then every free refresh, the renewal, and then 24/7. I think we need, since we didn't get any replies back on any of the cameras, we should go with that Axon.
What is that cradle point or connectivity? What is that?
The
Just have Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi without having to go through the phone.
Okay, so that then, oh, okay, so that's just,
Not
that's
Wi-Fi, it'd be cellular now.
It's cell, yeah, so it's just
Yeah.
connected, so that's connected.
Instead of having to do the hotspots on the
Okay,
phones,
so, yep, and then,
which we have trouble in town.
oh yeah, no, yeah.
So,
And then the unlimited storage, so are they bringing, so is this all uploaded to a cloud? Or is this, are they gonna be providing? like-
evidence.com.
Okay, so.
Yeah,
there's
it's
cloud.
essentially a cloud type.
Do you guys use that?
So
You guys
professionally, I use Axon.
How do you like it?
I love it. I mean, they're great. They're great to work with. Their warranties, not just cameras, with other things that they deal with. It's amazing. I have no complaints.
Yeah, and we got the Tajas through Axon already.
Right.
So if we need to get body cams,
It'd be kind of nice if we would've got our body cams through
Yeah.
and stayed with one company, but
yeah, well, we just turned down and we went with the cheaper. But yeah, if we have to get body cams, they can hook those up and
Then they all sync and
all
everything.
these,
What are the
everything's
terms
synced.
as far as if, because this is one of the issues we were running into when we were getting quotes from the sheriff's office. So it was Baker, myself, and Waller. And it seemed like one of the issues with a lot of the companies were when, like if you were to not renew your contract, or if you were to terminate your contract at any point, anything that was uploaded to the cloud no longer belongs to you, it belongs to them. There's like some kind of contingency baked in to the policy or the contract. Like, that's the only thing that kind of sketches me out, especially with live service models.
It's my understanding that that is still evidence and that still should be available.
Yeah.
Required. Yeah.
I got Spencer on standby.
I would imagine if that is the case, all it would take is a subpoena from the judge and you have to get.
Oh, yeah, or a warrant.
Like I
I was
said,
just curious.
I like how Axon, everything interfaces, so say you have both vehicles that are on scene, they'll all the timestamps, and then when they bring the videos up, they can make those videos play at the exact same timestamps.
Mhm.
It's very, I would say it's worth it. And then with their warranties, I don't,
So if we go with that middle grade one without the license plate reader, say in a couple of years, if we wanted to get it, is
They-
it
they-
upgradable
yeah.
to it? Not like they have to come put a whole bunch more hardware
No,
in or
it's just
nothing?
one,
I think a lot of it's future proof, yeah, right?
like it's, I've got Spencer on standby, I can call him if you guys got it.
So I will make a motion to go with that in-car camera with the tap for 5 years for a total of $22,191.60.
It's a payment of $546 a year.
Nope, 440.
I read the top one.
Yep,
4,438.32.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
I do have 2 more questions. So you have the ability to live view? Like from a
Yes.
computer, or is there a secondary screen?
There's an app. You can do the app. You can interface with an
Okay.
app.
Okay. Okay.
You can review
So
the,
like Chief Wolf could pull it up
Mhm.
at any time, the camera.
yeah.
And we can send it straight to the state's attorney from the scene if we wanted to, instead of going back to the office, downloading it to a thumb drive and trying to get a thumb drive up to
You
them.
send them a link and then they'll have it, they can redact it, they can do all that stuff for you.
And then, so you'll just basically exhaust that money that was,
No, we've got over 7,000, so
that's what I mean, like, so
we can
you,
spend 4,000 on the first year and we still have 4,000.
and then just as a remainder the second, and then,
Well, the second, yeah.
yeah,
Then we can use the other 4,000 for training and stuff.
okay. I didn't know how you wanted to structure that.
That was gonna be my question. If that was, wanted to be into the motion or however.
Is that budgeted under the
Motion?
police department?
I don't think we have to
That was a
make a
grant from
motion.
Workova Solution, we got $10,000.
And who was in charge of the grant?
It was a donation.
It was a donation.
It was deposited
Who's in
into the
charge?
general fund and I'm tracking it.
Oh, okay, all right, then I would say
So I don't
yes.
think we really need to add that into the motion.
No,
Pat?
The
no.
funds are there.
Because the funds are already there.
Yeah, the funds are already there, so
We're just pulling.
it's our discretion how we use the funds.
Right.
Yes, so I,
Is
I
that
see.
okay, Pat, with that, or you think it should be in the motion?
The separation of the funding.
Just stating that we're gonna pull that
I
4,000.
think the motion entailed the entire expense, so
Yeah.
that should be sufficient. Yeah.
Cool. That's all I had.
okay. Anybody else? We do need a roll call vote, correct? Okay.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Schifferl.
Aye.
Anything else, Chief?
Thanks for the cameras. Back to Blue Grant, we got that in. What was it, Monty, 2,100 or something like that?
The total was 11,000, broken down among the 4 officers would be a bonus of a little over 2,100 each for retention bonuses.
Nice.
I did that again, huh?
Yes.
That's awesome.
And we just want to do that all in one lump sum instead of last year dividing it up and stuff.
We'll see if we get it.
We got it.
Oh, we did get it.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
So
yeah, Monty's got the check.
I suppose we need to make a motion for that though, because we're spending the money, right?
Yeah.
We'll make a motion to send out the Christmas bonuses for the back the blue money.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Like we discussed it. Roll call?
Weidrich.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Schifferl.
Aye.
And then that's all I've got.
I got nothing else on their mind.
Okay.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jim.
But I'm kinda sick of hearing her, so.
Okay, I know. This one is a good one though. I was It's cumbersome, I think, Monty, isn't it, to put things on our Hazen website?
No.
But it's hard to find HCD. I went in there when I was on vacation and I went, there's no button and we can't add another one. So, to start out with anyway, I'm wondering if you're okay with me advertising the Waterworks building through Chamber and then maybe the Facebook page for Hazen? Is that acceptable?
Yeah.
Because we gotta market our community, we gotta get this stuff marketed
Yes,
somehow.
absolutely.
You know, and then,
Anything you wanna put on the Hazen Facebook page? Go ahead.
Almost.
Well,
Almost.
yeah, I
but
guess
this
that
is,
was a.
but this is your building, this building belongs to the city. And then, do you care if on the Hazen Facebook page we put those other properties too? We just wanna get the word out.
I know.
Antoinette put that on today, she
Yep.
put 2 buildings
Yeah, I
on.
saw that, that was.
We
I
had,
saw it too.
3,921
Nope.
views, was it?
4,413.
It's gone up.
Yeah.
And it was
Well-
shared 22 times, and I had a conversation with one of our business owners today, he said, nobody uses social media, nobody uses a newspaper, nobody looks at that stuff. Well,
Sorry, Dan.
35 to 44 age group, at the time that Antoinette gave this to me 2 times ago, it was 24.4%. 65 up was 22.9. He said the young people don't look at it, but they are. They're right, they're ahead of us oldsters.
That's why I brought it up to you before about the Facebook page. I think we need to be utilizing that more in our community, especially the Hazen one. Nothing against you, but not a whole lot of people go looking for CBB. You know, if they're outside the community, they go to the Hazen Facebook page and there's months, it seems like there's not a post on there, or it's just
Wait, which one?
the Hazen, the straight up Hazen.
The city.
City of Hazen.
The city
Yeah.
of
Oh,
Hazen.
okay.
Yeah, and
Not yours, you do
Oh,
a fantastic
okay.
job on
I run
yours.
everything.
I would like to
yeah.
see the Hazen page grow and get more utilized, you know, besides just, hey, it's a holiday, your garbage is Thursday instead of Friday.
Get your cars off the street.
Yeah, you know, we could help start marketing our businesses through that. I would say my generation, not a whole lot of them read the paper. I'm sorry, Dan, but I'm sure you.
He's like, I
you
know,
agree
you see
with
some of the
that.
scandalous stuff and put in there, you know, complaints about.
You know, I'm not saying let's not use the paper either, but we got a social media tool that's free.
Yeah.
Well, Facebook, that catches like that 30, I think it was like 33 to 40 something year old range.
Well,
And then-
sometimes, yeah, and here it did, 25 to 34 was only 16%, it's up, I assume, I hope. I don't have
What
this.
was it? What was this?
So 65 on up was 23.7%. 35 to 44, probably in your age, 23.6.
Oh, that's gone down. It was 20.
Yeah, well, because they've all moved over to the tick. I just was listening about reading a study on this for
18.1.
advertising, because a lot of people like
I could see the younger.
the right below us is like on the TikTok
Yeah.
and that crap.
Yeah.
And your
anybody
city
over
girls
100 is
do
on the newspaper.
a good job. Tammy does great with the local app. You know, a lot of the young ones like to use the app on, and she deserves a raise, I'm just saying, because she puts all of that stuff in the app for the city, everything. CVB, school events, she's the one that puts it all in, the living app, the Hazen, if you have it on your phone.
Oh, maybe that's something else we need to advertise in the paper when we do some of this Renaissance Zone, places you can find out information. Do we want to look at when I'm doing this Renaissance Zone thing?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I can't.
You're looking at me,
I'm
I'll
not a
give you the
city
answer.
employee, specifically, so, I mean, I promote the city and that's my job, and I'm kind of under the city's government tab. But I can't speak for you guys, you have to tell me how you want to speak. But I will help, because we want to promote the town, that's what we want to do.
I say speak loudly. Yeah,
Okay.
get the word out there as
I will
well.
She and I will do our, as I say, dreaming and scheming session, we'll get this together and come up with something for the future. Okay. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
I don't know if I have anything, so I'm just gonna say no. into old business, golf cart ordinance.
So we were waiting to hear back from the attorney on the golf cart ordinance, whether there was stuff in there that we should change that they didn't agree with on the law side of it. And we did get the memorandum back from him, but it doesn't really state any of that. It basically tells us to adopt it, and then if they don't like it, they'll come back to us. That's the way I read it in there. So we did make this change to scratch that section 7 out of it. So I'd like to make a motion for the first reading to approve the golf cart ordinance.
Okay, motion and a second to approve the first reading, correct?
Yes.
Any other discussion, questions?
Well, let me explain something. I appreciate that you all received that already because it was a little late coming out. But the intent wasn't to say that you had to quickly pass something and then we'd come back and critique it and so on. The intent was that since you're the policy creators, that you discuss your policy and come up with the ideas around that ordinance. As you saw in the samples there's some that are a page long, 3 paragraphs, and then there's the League of Cities template, which is several pages long and more designed for, I don't know, maybe for communities that have different policies for sure. And you can debate whether one is more helpful for the citizens than the other. That's not our role as the attorneys. Our role is simply to look at the legal aspects of it and see if indeed your policy coincides with law. So that's where we would come in. I'm not objecting to your motion, and if that's what the policy of the city is to follow that kind of a template and have the entire broad listing of characters or behaviors and whatever is contained in that whole template, so be it. Then you've established a policy, and you're right, you can always amend the policy later. It's an ordinance that encompasses a policy, so.
I think as time goes on, because this is new, obviously we're gonna get feedback to where we need
Yeah.
it. And as equipment changes and stuff like that, different things, I mean, it's gonna more change. Nature of the beast.
I read through that policy from the League of Cities multiple times, and I really like it. To me, it makes it fairly clear. It did miss this section 7 multiple times, but that's why we're also going through it again to scratch that.
Right.
And I think it makes it fairly clear as to what we require on the golf cart side of it, based on what the state says we can do.
Right.
Obviously, we can't be less restrictive than the state says.
Well, you can be less
In this
restrictive
one.
because your home rule. So
Essentially, you are.
you can
You are
be,
less
you don't,
They gave us
for
that
example, in your,
Yeah.
Well, yes.
fees or fines, you could be less restrictive,
But,
but you can.
and that's what we're doing. They said we
on the
could
state.
not require those things that are required
Oh.
to drive on the street, and that's
Right.
what we're doing. So, yeah,
Correct.
in a way, we are being less restrictive, but at the guidance of the state.
Well, and then there's a difference between city streets and state highways, et
Yes.
cetera, because certainly over city streets, you have control over those. You establish your own speed limits, where to put your stop signs and all that sort of stuff. The state comes in if there's a void,
Gotcha.
and then they fill it and say, well, since you don't have it, you're gonna have to follow state law. And that's where the state says, we don't care if you're home rule, if you don't have any ordinances that address this, you follow our state law.
Yeah, and with this golf cart thing, I don't think it's a one size fits all by any means. Like I said before, it's gonna be, especially when it's as new as it is, it's basically a living, breathing situation where, we may need to critique things here and there, or we may not have to revisit it again. But either way, the only thing that we're losing is we have a month of lead time, 2 readings. To get something on the books and fixed, if that's what it comes down to. So
we already have something on the books, because we did go through the second. But we're just scratching that 7, making it less restrictive once again. Because as of right now, they have a direct route from the place of storage to, it says the golf course, but you can't go there legally, and back to their place of storage.
Yeah, that's kind of contradicted or something. That's
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that golf carts would create this much?
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me the way it's going, but you look at 20 years ago, the golf carts compared to nowadays.
Yeah.
They're light years different.
The next thing that was talked about in some of the meetings with golf carts and Mark being here, Kiefer, Pat, you were absent, the e-bikes.
I was just gonna say e-bikes.
I'm getting to see more and more, and it's like, we're probably gonna have to do something.
seeing these kids rolling down the streets on their e-bikes, texting. I'm like, what's happening?
Since that golf cart stuff has came out, I've had several people reach out to me and ask about, is my bike legal to ride on the bike path? I'm like, well, I don't know, and I'm not gonna answer that. Because, that's a loaded question. If I say, yes, it is legal, but it isn't legal, I don't really know. Technically, it's a motorized vehicle, but is it?
Well, that's where the state has failed.
Yeah.
Because they've got so many different definitions and different sections of the law. Yeah,
right,
when you try to enforce it. One time it's a motor vehicle, another time it's not.
Right, or a motorized bicycle, and it also qualifies as a motor vehicle. It's
Or if it has a saddle on it. What the hell?
with a tank with a 29 and a half, not 30.
Yeah, 39 or 39 cc's instead of, or
49.
49.99
cc's.
instead of 50 cc's.
Instead of 50. And that one I don't exactly agree with either. Like, if it's 49 cc's and you don't even have to have a driver's license, all you have to have is a permit to drive it?
Any permit would work. Or you can even go lesser than that and just get the motorized bicycle operator's permit.
Yes.
If you're 14.
I know that.
Cost you $10.
Yeah, it'll set you back $10. You're right, Pat. It will set you back $10.
To me, it's still a motorcycle. It should have a motorcycle license, in my opinion, but I'm not the state, so.
Any other discussion?
Well, yeah.
I think we rounded that one. Do we need a roll? We don't need a roll call, do we?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, roll call. Vote.
Weidrich. Aye. Folkerts.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Shipro.
Aye.
Also, if it has a
second
penalty, it
reading.
has to be publicized, and it does have a penalty.
It
so
does.
there's Penalty provision.
Second reading mid-month or the third.
Say that again, Mark?
Second reading on the third or mid-month.
I suppose mid-month, give them some time. We're running towards the end of the golf cart season anyway, so if we gotta put it in the paper again.
Maybe for you, they come out with snow tires for that.
Now with that said, on a legal side, if there's anything that you don't agree with on there as a legal side before that, can you bring it to our attention?
As your motion was stated, are you incorporating Jesse's action from the previous meeting then?
Well, yeah,
Just striking
striking
seven.
seven.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, just,
Okay,
that's what this was, well, this was the first
It was
reading
both.
with that,
okay,
with,
okay, yeah.
with the scratch of that section 7.
Yeah, we can- yeah.
On the legal side, if you do. Because then we can change it before the second reading,
Or not the second reading.
at the second reading, yeah.
Yeah, because in essence, we're kind of starting over with our motions, right?
A little bit.
A little bit, I mean, yes and no.
All right, new business was designate bank signatures.
Basically, with the changes on the board, right now, some of the accounts still have Mark Nygaard on them. So I guess my recommendation would be that all current signatures be removed and then a motion to appoint whoever you want. Right now, it's, for most of the accounts, it's Commissioner Hack and myself.
So would you like that in 2 motions or 1 motion?
One motion will be fine.
So moved.
Who do you want on there?
It's so fast, we got it.
I said president and vice president and auditor.
Second.
My only little reservation is that I'm appointed. So if that, you guys are still good with that, I'm okay with that. Okay.
Is, the way I look at it is they had the opportunity to do a special election. Nobody came forward. With Pat's recommendation, he said either we call a special election or appoint,
Yeah.
since
Okay.
they didn't, so.
Okay.
And we still
Totally fine with
have
it.
vice president that was elected,
Okay.
and auditor on there, unless Pat has something else he wants to add to
You are
Okay.
president.
You are the golden child.
Until June.
that.
Yeah.
That's,
Any other? Oh, so we have, we need a second.
I second.
Second.
Yep.
Any other discussion?
Can you read that motion back?
Motion to remove all current signers for the bank accounts and appoint the president, vice president, and auditor.
Okay, thank you.
So then that will just, because you're naming the positions, that will like,
Oh,
if that changes in June or whenever, that would automatically,
They'll have to redo it when they reorganize.
well, they'll have to guys, well, that's part of their regular
Right,
motions anyway, so.
yeah.
Any other questions, discussion? Is this a roll call
We can. Weidrich.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Folker.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Shivero.
vote? Aye. I don't see any additional from the public.
Buster? No? Dan? Never asked.
I don't think you're champion of the bid, that alone.
Nope.
Okay.
The approval of bills and financial statements. Is that this year?
Yeah. Those are additional bills added yesterday and today.
So you would have got emailed out
Yeah.
the bills, and these are what came in.
Okay.
since that you mentioned.
Okay, I see, okay.
Motion to approve bills as presented.
Second.
Any questions,
What is
comments?
Rambo condition?
Condemnation. We have the inspector do,
Okay, so I gotcha.
Which Snyder is this for?
Dustin's.
What? So we're paying Lauren Weiss to inspect that, even though?
Because it's in our extraterritorial zone, he had the building permit through the city. Yep.
Anything else? motion and a second. No other discussion? Roll call vote?
Hack.
Aye.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Shipro.
All right. So that's it. Motion to adjourn.